Hello everyone and welcome back to the Game Movie Jerks. This is our last episode of Hollow Knight lore for now, and we're going to do something a bit different today. Rather than focusing on one topic for the episode, we will jump around a bit and talk about some hidden areas and the lore that they reveal. First up is the White Palace. This in and of itself is kind of a secret area, but I'm talking specifically about 3 secret rooms inside of the palace. These would be the Pale King's workshop, the palace nursery, and a little area off of the throne room. This little area is just right of the throne, though you must go there before collecting the white fragment, as that immediately takes you right out of the dream. In this room, through the dark area, is a lore tablet talking about the Pale King and worms in general. It describes how worms create a beacon of mind, giving those who worship the ability to think for themselves. It speaks of promised eternity and basically just says you should worship the Pale King. The palace nursery is right outside the throne room. Before the last elevator, there is a soul totem. Below it is a breakable floor. Descending downward brings you to this secret room, and in it there appears to be a large chair and a crib of some kind. It is theorized that this is where the pure vessel was raised, which does make sense. In the journal entry for the pure vessel, it is said that it was raised and trained to prime form. Another important aspect of this room is that the chair clearly has some sort of marking on it. This marking seems to resemble a tree, which of course relates to the White Lady, who was a tree creature. Obviously she lived here with the king, but this chair does look quite small for the queen. The queen is mysterious and no one really knows anything about her at all, so it might be fair to argue that she could have been smaller than she is now. The Pale King's workshop is probably my favorite secret room in the game. This area is here in the White Palace, and it requires some tricky maneuvering. You must jump down from this spot and dodge spikes to get here. It reveals quite a bit about the Pale King and his operations with Void. This room contains many barrels, most likely containing Void, a lore tablet, and a mold. This mold is in the shape of the King's molds, and is clearly dripping of Void. From this, it becomes clear how the Pale King created his guards. His mold can also be dream-nailed. Doing so reads "Serve" in all caps. Check out my video on the Collector to find out my theory on his creation here. The lore tablets talk about the ability of Void. It says that perhaps it could deny time, which makes sense as Void constructs don't seem to age. It also speaks to the Pale King giving it a harness, with which its full power could be attained. It also talks about it being the power opposed, which I guess is in reference to the Radiance and how it is the opposite of Void. The only other thing in the White Palace is the Path of Pain, which is only kind of secret. It's well known, at least. This area was supposedly created by the Pale King to stop people from peering into the secrets of his efforts against the infection. The lore tablet at the beginning reads, "To witness secrets sealed, one must endure the harshest punishment." This might honestly be the least cryptic quote in all of Hollow Knight. It is simple and straight to the point. Another interesting thing about the Pale King is that he actually has unused dialogue still in the game's files. It reads, "False one. You cannot reach me here." It is unclear when he was supposed to say this, however. Related to the Pale King, of course, is Hornet, who has her own secret area down in Deep Nest. In the Weaver's Den, an already pretty secret area, there are 2 breakable walls on the left side after going up a level, which leads to a room that is theorized to be Hornets Room. It doesn't contain much, only the same image that is seen at the beginning of the Path of Pain. At the end of the Path of Pain, you get a new journal entry for the Seal of Binding, with the same image on it, only in a different style. The entry describes the seal as an ancient design meant for protecting something very important. This could mean this room must contain something very important, perhaps something of value to Hornet or the Weavers. Or maybe it was just to protect Hornet as she grew up. Unsure on this one, but definitely a cool thing to check out. An area all the way to the right in the Kingdom's Edge shows something related to the Mushroom Tribe. This is strange because it's so far away from the tribe. A lot of vengeful dives are required here, and it goes down pretty deep. At the bottom of this whole thing is a massive geodeposit. However, a bit earlier, before you reach the bottom, there is something important in the aspect of lore. Here, as long as you have the Spore Shroom charm equipped, you can see particles only ever seen in the Fungal Wastes. Behind a hidden wall is a lore tablet. This tablet has some sort of poem, which mentions a so-called Master Herald, which most likely refers to Mr. Mushroom. I had to read this poem 5 or 6 times before I figured this out, but it now seems obvious that it points out where you can find Mr. Mushroom. Another thing about the Mushroom Clan is a small secret that reveals a bit about their leader. It is inside the fungal core, behind a fake wall, which reveals this giant mushroom. She seems to be the source of the hive mind for the mushrooms, and her Dream Now dialogue indicates that she opposed the Pale King. It is unclear exactly what happened to her. She seems unconscious or incapacitated in some way. If you want to learn more about this clan, please check out our video on the mini tribes of Hallownest. In the Royal Waterways, there is a hidden NPC I would like to mention. This would be Tuck. You can buy rancid eggs from her, and she is here on the map. And along with a related NPC found in the official Quirrell comic, she does provide valuable information about the lands beyond Hallownest. She is a scavenger, and someone clearly of the same species named Boone appears in the comic. Boone is found outside of Hallownest and talks with simple words and very poor grammar. Meanwhile, Tuck lives in Hallownest, is not infected, and speaks pretty much fluently. This is valuable information because the maybe because they are different species argument simply does not work here. A secret area in the resting grounds is simply really cool, but it provides no lore. It is called the Shrine of Believers, and it has names of many Kickstarter backers of the game. This area can be gotten to through the Spirit's Glade behind the waterfall, then onto a small ledge to Dream Now the leftmost statue. This place is unimportant to most, but it was a cool thing for Team Cherry to include. Hollow Knight features a lot of cut content. Like, a lot of cut content. Like, so much there is an entire area missing, called the Forest of Bones, which looks like a Bowser's Castle level from Mario Bros. Or something. It does look a bit out of place, so it makes sense that it was removed, especially considering that the main map is already so huge. Other cut content includes dialogue that the Dreamers had, quite a bit of it in fact. There's also cut Dream Now dialogue of the Pure Vessel, which I mentioned in a previous video, but one reads, "Do not think," and another reads, "Do not hope," and they mostly get worse from here, to be honest. There are also a lot of cut enemies from the game, the most notable of which is the Blundering Obelisk, which was fully created in the art style and even animated. Other cut things include what might be a boss fight with a huge spider, which was shown in one of the trailers. Interestingly, a fight with Drya was also planned, but removed. Then they also made her dead, so that was kinda mean. I could go on forever talking about cut content, but I'm not going to, so just check out the wiki page on cut content. Alright, well, I hope you all enjoyed our last Hollow Knight lore video, and I hope you liked the different direction I chose for this one. I did like making these videos, but overall they were getting a bit stressful to make every week. More important to its ending is that I pretty much ran out of good ideas for videos. I covered everything I wanted to, and again, I hope everyone enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time on the Game Movie Jerks.